Hello all, today we will discuss about the types of push-down automata. There are two types of push-down automata. One is DPDA and second is NPDA. DPDA means deterministic push-down automata. Deterministic push-down automata. And NPDA is non-deterministic push-down automata. Before going in detail what is DPDA and what is NPDA, let us first discuss about what is the difference between DPDA and NPDA. As the name suggests, DPDA is deterministic push-down automata and NPDA is non-deterministic push-down automata. About the first difference I will deal with in DPDA is called deterministic push-down automata because in DPDA the center symbol is known. Center symbol is known. It means that up to what level we have to push the elements into the stack and after what we have to pop these elements from the stack. That is, we take an example that is A and B n. This language contains any number of A's followed by any number of B's. This means that we can push n number of A's into the stack and then with the help of B's we can pop all the A's from the stack. In this we know what is the center symbol because we have to push only A's and from the B's we have to pop A's. Let us take another example that is WCWR. In case of WCWR where W belongs to A comma B ka closure, in WCWR W means W we have to push, C is the center symbol where we have to apply the no operation and WR is the reverse of W for which we use to pop all the elements of W from the stack. Now in NPDA the center symbol is known. The center symbol is not known. That is, we take an example of WWR. Suppose we have a string AA. This is W part, this is WR. Now after pushing first A into the stack, we are not able to recognize whether with the second A we have to push it or we have to pop first A from the stack. That's why we are saying that in DPDA deterministic means center symbol is known and non-deterministic means center symbol is not known. One more thing we can say is in DPDA there is only one move. There is only one move in every situation. Whereas in NPDA, there are multiple moves. Now, what is one move in every situation and what is multiple moves? Let us discuss this with an example that is if we take NFA and DFA. In DFA, the transition function is we are at a state Q0. After reading an input A, we move to another state Q1. That is, in DFA, we can say that from one state reading an input, we goes to a single state. Whereas in NFA, we goes to a multiple state that is Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, etc. Now we try to relate this NFA, DFA kind of a thing with NPDA and DPDA. In NPDA, and DPDA means if we have a transition function Q0 A Z0 returns Q0 A Z0. This means that we are at a state Q0 reading an input A and topmost symbol of the stack is Z0 moves to a state Q0 with a push operation. Here we are trying to say that in case of DFA when we are at a state Q0 reading an input A moves to a single state. Here also we are at a state Q0 reading an input A with topmost symbol Z0 moving to a state single state and performing a single operation. Whereas in NPDA, we are at a single state Q naught, reading an input A, topmost symbol of the stack is A. After doing this, we can perform push operation as well as pop operation, as well as pop operation, as well as no operation. And moving to a multiple state, that is Q naught, Q1 and Q1. Therefore, what we say that there are the one move in DPDA and there are multiple moves in NPDA. One move means that from one state with one input, with one top of the symbol, we are going to a single state with single operation. Whereas NPDA, we are moving multiple moves with multiple operations. Now, we will take an example of DPDA, that is, we have taken a language WCWR, where W belongs to A, B closure. Now, before proceeding about the transition rule and the transition diagram of DPDA, let us first discuss what exactly is the procedure we have to use. For W part, here is C and this is WR. Now W is any string and WR is the reverse of that string. Therefore, it is an odd palindrome. Now we have to do what? First we have to use W for pushing part and WR for popping part. Now, first of all, we write about the transition rules of WCWR. Now, first rule is, let us take an example of a string ACA. I have supposed that W contains A and WR, that is the reverse of W, is also A. Now we have a string ACA. For justifying this, we first use A for the push, then C for the no operation, and this A is used to pop this A. That is, we have used a stack, initial symbol is Z0, we first push A, then no operation is applied to this C, and then for this A is used to pop this A. Now for this string, we first write a rule, transition of Q0. Q0 is the initial state, A is the input symbol that we are reading, and Z0 is the topmost symbol of the stack. For this, we apply push operation, that is Q0 A Z0. For this, we push A into the stack. Here we can say that only a single A is pushed into the stack using this transition rule, as the topmost symbol is Z0. So we can say that for WCWR, only a single A from the W is pushed into the stack using this rule. Now second rule, if we have to push multiple A's, let us suppose that there is any string of this form. Now we have to push multiple A's after a single A, so we have to use a transition rule Q0 A, top symbol is A, and Q0 double A. So we can say that for the first two rules, first rule is used to push a single A into the stack, and there may be the possibility that W contains multiple A's, then C, then multiple A's. For pushing the multiple A's, we use a rule Q0, A returns Q0 double A. This is for multiple A's after single A, and this is for single A. Now we have taken two strings, that is ACA for the first rule and AAA for the second rule. We are just focusing on the part that is before C. Now let's discuss about BCB. There may be a possibility that the string will start with B. If there is a BCB, then we have the third rule Q0 B, Z0 returns Q0 B Z0. This rule suggests that there may be a possibility that the string will start with B, and this rule suggests that there may be a possibility that the string will start with A. For the multiple B's, then there may be a possibility that double B, C, double B. For the multiple B's, we may use a transition rule Q0 B, B returns Q0 double B. Now these four rules are basically dealing with what W contains या तो multiple A's या फिर W contains multiple A's or W contains multiple B's. Now in case of palindrome, there may be a possibility of string that A, B, C, B, A, B, A, C, A, B. In that case, rule number 5, transition of Q naught. Now, if we are reading an input A, let us suppose this is the string. We first pushed B using this rule number 3rd. Then, if we are at input A, the top symbol is B and there is Q naught A, B. Similarly, if we have pushed this A using rule number 1 and if we have to push second B, then rule number 6, transition of Q naught B, A returns Q naught B, A. Now these 6 rules are basically used for pushing the W part. All the possible strings are pushed using these 6 rules. Now rule number 7, now we have put every type of string A, C, A, double A, C, double A, B, C, B, double B, C, double B, or A, B, C, B, A, B, A, C, A, B. Now this pushing part has been completed. Now we move toward the C. If we read an input C from the Q naught state, then there may be the possibility that top symbol of the stack is A or the top symbol of the stack is B. When we have the top symbol as A, we move to the next state Q1 and perform no operation. Now why we move to the next state? Because all the pushing part has been done on the same state Q naught. Now Q naught to Q1 is for the no operation and all the popping part is done from the Q1 state. Now rule number 8 is for when the top symbol of the stack is B, that is Q1B. These 2 rules are used for no operation, but there is also one rule. There may be a possibility because W belongs to A comma B ka closure. Now W may contain nothing and WR has nothing. So there is a small string is C. For justifying C, there may be a rule, transition of Q naught C Z naught returns Q1 Z naught. So these are the 3 rules which are used for performing no operation. After performing no operation, rule number 10 is used for popping part. Now as we know that if there is a string A, C, A, if this A is to be pushed, now we have to use rule number 1 for pushing this A. Now this A is to be pushed, then we have to use rule number 2. Now C, we have to use number 7. After, for this A, Q1 A, top symbol is A, we simply Q1 null. That is, if we use this string, that is Q naught A, this is to be pushed into the stack. From this A, we pop this A, from this A, we pop this A. Now Q1 input is A, top symbol is A, we remain at same state Q1 and we pop that A from this A. As we are on the same state Q1, we can pop any number of A's from any number of A's. We similarly use another rule, transition of Q1 B comma B returns Q1 null. This is used for similarly as B, B, C, B, B. These 2 rules are used for popping the WR part from W. Now rule number 12 is used for the acceptance either by the final state or either by the empty stack. Acceptance by the final state is transition of Q1 null Z naught returns Q2 Z naught or either QF Z naught. This is the acceptance through final state. Or we can do it as Q1 null and this is the acceptance through empty stack. Now I have rewritten the transition rules of WCWR. Now we will see the string acceptance of WCWR. I have taken an example of string ABCBA, where AB is a part of WC and this is a part of WR. Now what we will do, we will first push A into the stack, then B above A, then simply read C, then we pop this B from this B, and then we pop this A from this A. That is, we take an example, this is a stack, we first push A, then we push B, we simply read C, and then this B is used to pop this B, and then this A is used to pop this A. Now how the string processing is done, first we are at a state Q0, reading an input A, top symbol of the stack is Z0. Now by the rule number 1, we simply push this A into the stack, that is Q0 B C B A comma A Z0, that is A is pushed into the stack. Now we are at a state Q0, reading an input B, the top symbol of the stack is A. Now by the rule number 6, we simply push this B into the stack, that is B A Z0. Now we are at a state Q0, reading an input C. Now what we have done till now is that we have pushed the part W. Now we are at the center of WCWR. We simply read this C without performing anything. That is, by the rule number 8, we simply change the state Q1 BA comma BA Z0. Here we simply read C, and we have changed from a state Q0 to Q1 because we have done all the pushing part at Q0, move from state Q0 to Q1 for simply reading the C, that is the center symbol, and we do all the popping part at Q1 state. Now we are at a state Q1, reading an input B, top symbol of the stack is B, so by the rule number 11 we simply pop this B from the stack. Now that is by rule number 11, that is Q1 comma A Z0, we simply pop this B from the stack. Now we are at a state Q1, reading an input A, and top symbol of the stack is A. So by rule number 10, we get Q1 null Z0. That is, now our stack is empty. What we have pushed into the stack, we popped with the help of BA. We pushed AB into the stack and popped with the help of BA. Now we are at Q1 state, input is null, and Z0 is the topmost symbol of the stack. Now by rule number 12, we either get QFZ0, that is the string is accepted by the final state, or Q1 null, that is we have emptied the stack, that with our stack is still does not contain Z0. This is how the string processing of WCWR is.